Tempe Diablo Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, the winter home of the Anaheim Angels. And today it's host to the MSBL World Series on APN Sports as the Houston Skeeters, 2 wins, 1 loss, taking on the Southern California Indians. They too come in with a record of 2-1. And I'm Jeff Lowry with APN Video Sports. A beautiful day for our national pastime. Game time temperatures in the mid-70s on a sunsplash afternoon. We're scheduled to start this one at 4 p.m. And what has become a very pivotal game as you look at the Skeeters and the all-white with the blue trim, a very pivotal game for both these teams because both teams come in with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. And after today, only 2 more games left in round-robin play. You're getting a look at Ronnie Stegall. He is the manager and today's starting pitcher for the Houston Skeeters. Of course, a longtime manager of the Houston A's. And at this time, let's send it down to our roving reporter here on APN Video Sports and Mr. Buddy Graves.
All right, this is Buddy Graves with APN Sports on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon in Phoenix, Arizona. We're standing here with Joe Banasic of the Houston Skeeters. Joe, you're driving the ball right now. You're seeing the ball good, obviously. Comfortable, as I've seen from being on deck a few times with you. You're very comfortable up there right now and everything. You're driving some line drives. What do you physically think of Buddy Graves? How's he doing?
He's all right. Who's Buddy Graves?
I'm Buddy Graves.
Oh, okay. Well, I think you're doing a great job holding the mic and filling in for the mascot when he's injured. So I think you're doing an outstanding job.
Thanks, Joe. No, but seriously, you're seeing the ball good and everything. How are you feeling for the past couple of days? Obviously, you look like you're feeling really good up there.
Feeling good. Love being out here in this Arizona weather. I'm loose, seeing the ball well, and couldn't ask for a better atmosphere.
Cool. What do you think the Skeeters? Skeeters right now are 2-1. I understand possibly the first game they might have blown in the last inning, but how do you feel about their next 3 games? They have 1 tonight and 2 tomorrow. How do you feel their chances are of going ahead and really doing good this week?
I actually feel like we're off to a really good start. If we can win 2 out of the next 3, we should be in the hunt. I'm confident that we'll win today and the next, at least 1 of the next 2. So
yeah, y'all have a doubleheader tomorrow.
That's correct, we do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I appreciate you sitting in with us this afternoon, and good luck to y'all the rest of the tournament.
Thank you, buddy.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, this is Buddy Graves with APN Sports. Still on a Wednesday afternoon here in Phoenix, Arizona. We're with Keith Larson right now. Keith was the starting pitcher yesterday of the first game of the doubleheader that they had, and I believe he took it fairly convincingly. He was hitting his spots well as it looked. Looked like he was very calm and everything up on the mound. I asked Joe this earlier this afternoon, and I'm going to have to ask you. You felt loose. You looked like you were clicking with your catcher and everything. You hit your spots well. You had them off balance real good. What do you think of Buddy Graves?
Oh, well, you know, all my success I owe to Buddy Graves.
And that's very understandable.
And, you know, it's all about the defense and the guy calling it and everything, and Buddy was the catcher, so there you have it.
Well, I do appreciate the compliment there, Keith, but really, you did look good and everything yesterday.
Well, it would be the first time.
Well, no, Keith always looks good. He really does. He might not be as dominant as he was on the mound, but he was very he looked good yesterday. But y'all are 2-1 now with the Houston Skeeters, and y'all got a single game tonight, double game tomorrow.
That's right.
Okay.
Well, buddy, you know you got to play them one at a time.
Well, that's good. That's from a famous movie that I think we've all grown to love. And yes. But what do you think the Skeeters' chances are? Like I say, y'all are 2-1 right now. Y'all got 3 more games to go. Single tonight, double tomorrow. What do you think? I mean, y'all got to at least take 2 of the 3.
You look at the talent out here, I think we've got a good chance. We've got the defense, we've got the pitching, we've got the hitting. That's all we need, and we got you as a catcher, so we're strong up the middle.
I love this, man. I love this, man. Seriously, though, the Skeeters for the first year have shown a lot more speed on the bases, in the outfield, things like that, with some solid defense up the middle by Paco. And I think that's what's really helping us out this year is the speed that we've brought to the game this year. But I do appreciate it, Keith. And I wish y'all good luck the rest of the tournament.
You're right, buddy. Take
care.
All
right,
now.
thank you. All right, once again, this is Buddy Graves with APN Sports, over and out in Phoenix, Arizona.
All right, buddy, thank you very much. And when we come back, we'll have all the exciting play-by-play action of MSBL World Series Baseball. Welcome back to Tempe Diablo Stadium. We're getting set for the first pitch, and there is Ronnie Stegall. He is the manager of this Houston Skeeters team, today's starting pitcher. And the last time I saw him, it seems like he's slimmed down quite a bit. He looks really good, and that has paid off. His team has won 2 of the first 3 after dropping the first game to the Angels 8-5. They have had some impressive pitching over the last 2 games, including a 12-3 victory over the Phillies and a 17-3 victory over Kendall. So they come in with a record of 2-1. They've outscored their opponents 34-14 in the first 3 games. And our first pitch at 4:03 with that sun bearing down on the infield. Very tough for the obviously the center fielder and the pitcher. It was a called strike, and this game is underway. It'll be DeJesus, Crutchfield, and Cavanaugh, the first 3 for Southern Cal. They too lost their first game in round-robin play and is in the midst of a 2-game win streak. A ball and a strike is the count on DeJesus. The Indians batting first. They have outscored their opponents 28-13. And here's a slow ground ball to the right side where Emilio Gonzalez throws on to Keith Larson for out number 1. Let's take a look at the defense as Crutchfield comes to the plate. Larson at first base. Gonzalez, who made the first assist of the game, at second. Meza at shortstop. Mike Whalen gets a start at third base. Freddie Stewart is in center field along with Donaldson in right. Villarreal doing the catching. And here's a smash off the pitcher's mound, knocked down by Ronnie Stegall. He'll field and throw him out at first base, 2 down. So an outstanding play there by the starting pitcher, Ronnie Stegall. No score, we're in the top of the first inning. And the batter's going to be the third place hitter, Cavanaugh. He goes after the first pitch. He bounces it foul third base side. I believe it's Mike Black out there in left field. There was a change to the lineup. Obviously, who we were given as the starting left fielder is not out there right now, and I believe that it might be Mike Black, but we'll try to verify that here momentarily. Here's a high pop-up on the infield. The second baseman, Gonzalez, has it. A very quick inning for Ronnie Stegall and the Houston Skeeters here in the top of the first inning. They'll come to the plate, and they'll be going up against the Indians starting pitcher, Christ. And let's take a look at the Houston Skeeters starting lineup. As we mentioned, the manager, Ronnie Stegall. Paco Meza is at shortstop with Villarreal doing the catching. Larson bats third. He's at first base. O'Neill will clean up. You got Buddy Graves in the 5-hole. Freddie Stewart, Mike Black, Charlie Griffin, Joe Banasic, Gabe Rodriguez, the right fielder Brett Donaldson, and Greg Molina. That is the starting lineup for the 2-1 Houston Skeeters. And the players who did not have a position next to them are not in the field to start the ball game. Well, an outstanding leadoff hitter coming up here for the Houston Skeeters, and shortstop Francisco Meza. Good speed. Has a small strike zone up there. He takes inside ball 1. And this is a guy that can really ignite the offense and wreak some havoc on the opposing defense. He swings and fouls it off, and the count is even. Hit a ball and a strike. Scoreless tie here. First time up for Houston. We're in the bottom half of inning number 1. Tempe Diablo Stadium. Here's the pitch. And here's a slicing line drive into right field. And Meza is aboard with a leadoff single and obviously a threat to steal. He'll be held on by the big first baseman Lewis over there. And now Villarreal, the catcher, fouling off the first offering, and it's 0-1. So Francisco Meza with the game's first hit. There he goes, and a hit and run and a line drive out into deep right field, and that ball is over the head of the right fielder, and Meza will score easily. Ronnie Villarreal with a RBI double. The ball gets away from the cutoff man. It'll go as an RBI double, an error on the throw, and it's 1-0 Houston Skeeters as Villarreal ends up at third base. That'll bring up the left-handed hitting first baseman Keith Larson. So Houston leads it 1-0 here in the home half of the first inning.
Yeah.
That's outside for a ball. 2-0 on the first baseman, Larson, who pitched yesterday's game. A tremendous job in a 17-3 victory. In fact, the pitching has truly been stellar over the last 2 games for this Houston Skeeters team. That's ball 4, and Larson is aboard. So the first 3 have reached here in the top or the bottom half of inning number 1, and now Brendan O'Neill, the cleanup hitter for the Ronnie Stegall. Skeeters lead it 1-0. They have runners at first and third, nobody out. The right-hander Christ on the mound. Could use a double play right here in the pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner for a strike on Brendan O'Neill. A ball and a strike on the cleanup hitter. I would imagine the Indians would give up a run if they could turn the double play. Here's a looping fly ball, shallow right, long run, and a spectacular running catch. Boy, it doesn't get much better than that. A great play out in right field, but it will go for a sacrifice fly for O'Neill, and it's 2-0 Skeeters here in the bottom of the first inning. And now the batter is going to be our pregame host, Buddy Graves. He takes a strike, batting left-handed. Graves, a longtime member of the Houston Men's Senior Baseball League, and has been with APN Sports going all the way back to 2006 when he used to do our pregame. Runner goes. The pitch was taken for a ball, and safe sliding at second base, a courtesy runner, Brett Donaldson, and he is in with a stolen base. So another runner in scoring position, 1 out, 2 in here in the bottom of the first, and Graves comes up empty-handed. So he goes down on strikes. That is out number 2, and now the batter, the fleet-footed center fielder, Freddie Stewart. And he lines one into right field, and that's going to drop in for a base hit. Charging the right fielder, he kicks it around, but not before Keith Larson's courtesy runner, Brett Donaldson, scores from second, and it's 3-0 Houston here in inning number 1. So RBIs here in the first inning by Ronnie Villarreal on a double, a sac fly by O'Neill, and Stewart single. Here's a ball hit out towards second base, and Mike Black is going to be retired, and the first inning is in the book. It's Houston 3, Southern California nothing. You're watching APN Video Sports. Andrew Stevens behind the camera here today from Tempe Diablo Stadium, and our entire APN crew here on hand for the 45 and over Cactus Division of the Men's Senior Baseball League's World Series. They'll be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters for Southern California, who went down in order in the first inning against right-hander Ronnie Stegall. It'll be Gravette, Lewis, and Maldonado. So a big 3-run inning for Houston, and they lead it 3-0 here, top of the second. Here's a ball hit hard out in the gap, right center field, and that one is going to split the outfielders. Here's Gravette on his horse, heading for 2, and he's going to stay right there with a stand-up double. So a good start, the first hit of the ball game for the Southern California Indians, and the batter is going to be Lewis, big first baseman, and he pops it up. Right side of the infield, Larson's under it, and one of the starting pitchers in the rotation for Ronnie's Houston Skeeters makes the play. Now the next batter is going to be Maldonado, and he goes after the first pitch and promptly pops out to Mesa at shortstop, and just like that, 2 down. So Stegall has set down 5 of the first 6 that he has faced. Ubatka will be the 7th hitter in the lineup, and he's taken a strike all the way. And most likely by the instruction of his manager over there in the third base dugout. Indians come in with a record of 2-1. So does the Houston Skeeters. That's high and away, and it's 1-1. Grounded hard and into left field for a base hit. But this will not score the run as Mike Black, who is now the starting left fielder, and that was the one player we did not have in our starting lineup, fields and got it back in quickly. That was the key to that play. And now the 8th hitter in the lineup is the starting pitcher, Christ. A ball and no strikes on the right-handed hitter, the starting pitcher for Southern Cal, and Villarreal saved a run by getting that wide frame in front of that ball and making the stop. He saved a potential wild pitch and a run scoring. He got him on first and third with 2 out. We're in the top of the second inning, 3-0 Houston. Ground ball, shortstop. Meza stays down on it, throws on the second, and did they get him? They did not. It was bobbled, and the second baseman, Gonzalez, was off the bag, and that's going to be an error, and that's going to allow a run to score, an unearned run, which should have been the final out of the inning. So now runners are at first and second with 2 out, and that keeps the top of the second inning alive for Bryant. Did not like that call on the last pitch. Looked like it might have been a bit inside, and that evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike on Bryant with Kenny Ladd on deck. That's outside, 2-1. Another excellent job by Ronnie Villarreal behind the plate. Southern Cal's outscored their opponents 28-13 through the first 3 games, averaging a little over 9 runs and giving up about 4 a game, a little more than 4 a game. Houston has scored 6 more runs through the first 3 games. Here's a ball hit to short, and this time Meza makes a solid throw to shortstop, and that will do it here in the top of the second. An unearned run comes across for SoCal as Houston comes to the plate here in the bottom half of the second inning, now leading it 3-1. Charlie Griffin to start things off, right-handed hitter. He can pull the ball, he'll hit it to right center, center field. Pretty good bat up there in that number 8 position in the lineup here for the Houston Skeeters. It'll be 8, 9, and 10 coming up here for the Skeeters. They'll be batting 11 in this game. Houston scored 3 times in the first and lead it 3-1 here as they bat in inning number 2. We're in the home half of the inning. Swing and a miss. He was trying to pull a pitch that may have been just off the outside part of the plate. Good crowd here on hand from the winter home of the California Angels, Anaheim Angels. Here's the pitch. Bouncing ball. That got in on the trademark and fielded by the third baseman, and his perfect throw onto Lewis is in time. So now 4 of the last 5 have been set down by the starting pitcher, Christ. First offering outside the Banasic is ball 1. Joe's had a good tournament so far. He says that he's been seeing the ball pretty well through the first 3 games, and he hits one back up the middle and into center field for a base hit. 4th hit of the ball game for the Houston Skeeters here in the bottom half of inning number 2. They lead by 2 at 3-1, and the first pitch to Gabe Rodriguez is a called strike. Houston scored 3 times. They got the first 3 men on base in that first inning. A double by Villarreal after the leadoff single by Meza. Hit hard down the first base and past Lewis down the right field line, and they'll be on the corners. First and third, back-to-back, second inning singles by the Skeeters. As Banasek moves to third, and Rodriguez safe at first base with a single. Hit number 5, and now the batter is Brett Donaldson, the right fielder. A chance to do some damage here. Houston got, as I was saying, an RBI single, a double, by Villarreal in the first. 2 at-bats later, a sac fly by O'Neill, and then 2 at-bats after that, an RBI hit by Freddie Stewart. So Villarreal, O'Neill, and Stewart all with RBIs in this game. The Indians scored their lone run in the top of the second inning on an error, and I don't know if they're going to rule that a error on the throw or on the second baseman. Nonetheless, the end result was an unearned run for SoCal. One out with runners at first and third, bottom of the second inning. Runner goes to second, and a delayed throw goes out into center field. Both runners will advance 90 feet, and it's 4-1. That'll be a stolen base now. They got the trail runner caught in a rundown, and that'll be an easy out. Well, credit both runners with a stolen base as they had the double steal in effect. Actually, give Gabe Rodriguez a stolen base, but then he is thrown out 8-4. And here's a looper to right field, and that's in there for a base hit for Donaldson. So the base running mistake may have cost the Houston Skeeters in this inning a potential run. At least they would have had first and third and one out. And we go back to the top of the Houston order, and here's Francisco Meza. Meza got it all started in that 3-run first inning with a leadoff slicing opposite field hit. He came around to score on the double by Villarreal. Round ball foul, and it's a strike on the very talented shortstop for Houston, the igniter at the top of the order. .74 degrees our game time temperature. A beautiful day on this Wednesday, November 5th, this 4 p.m. start time. Got a runner at first, 2 out, and a throw over in time. Not in time. Lewis holding on the runner at first base. I thought for a moment that was Pedro Serrano over there at first base. Pitch. And a half swing looper that's going to drop in for a base hit. That is the 4th hit of the inning. Meza is at first base. He is 2 for 2 on the day, and the batter is catcher Ronnie Villarreal, and he doubled in a run his only time up back in the second. So a run in here in the second inning, a 4-1 Houston lead, and Villarreal looking to open it up a little bit here. First and second occupied, and a swing and a foul straight back. 0-1 on the Skeeters backstop. It's outside, and the count is a ball and a strike. Tempe Diablo Stadium on a beautiful afternoon for baseball. Chris trying to work out of a first and second jam here. 2 out in the 1-1. And Villarreal takes really a well-placed fastball inside part of the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. You notice Chris kind of drops down a little 3/4 action on that right-handed delivery. He certainly did on that last pitch, and here's the next one, and that one is popped up. That got in on the hands. He lifts it to Lewis, who comes over from his first base position to haul it in. At the end of 2, it's all Houston. They lead by 3. Jeff Lowry back here from Tempe Diablo Stadium. Houston with a 4-1 lead. It'll be the bottom part of the order, 10, 11, and 1. Swing and a foul. This is Kenny Ladd. He'll be followed by Travis Saros, and then back to the top of the order in De Jesus. Ground ball down to third. Nice play by Whalen as he gobbles it up and throws on to first, and there's 1 down. If you're scoring at home, that play went 5-3. Stegall now in his 3rd inning of work as the starting pitcher for the Houston Skeeters, and Travis Saros, the 11A hitter. In on the fist, popped it up, playable, and it is going to be, it's going to fall in there safely. A foul ball. We saw an outstanding effort there by Villarreal. Here's a shot out into right field, and that ball is foul. So a nice effort out there in right field. Gabe Rodriguez. Here's the next ball hit out in the center, and that ball's going to be hauled in by Freddie Stewart, who plays a fine center field. 2 down here in the inning. We go back to the top of the order, the 0-for-1 De Jesus, and he bunts one third base side. Charging is Whalen. He's up. He throws and will not have a play. So De Jesus picking up hit number 3 here for the Southern California Indians, and the batter is going to be Crutchfield. A 4-1 Houston lead, top half of inning number 3. Right-handed hitter at the plate. Pitch. Fastball upstairs. Ball 1. Stegall has went 2 2/3 to start things here in terms of innings pitched. Given up 3 hits, an unearned run, and now has fallen behind Crutchfield. 2 balls, no strikes on the count. He is yet to walk a batter, nor has he struck out a hitter. 4-1 Houston, top of the 3rd. And this one in on the trademark, and Whalen will throw to second to get the lead runner, the fielder's choice, and that is that. We head to the home half of the 3rd. Houston 4, Southern California 1. This is the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN. Keith Larson, the 3rd place hitter, to start it off. He'll be followed by Brendan O'Neill. And then Buddy Graves, fly ball, shallow center, fighting the sun and making the catch. And out number 1. Not an easy play out there for Gravett. And a quick out as Larson is disposed of by Chris, the pitcher in his 3rd inning of work, the starting pitcher here today for Southern Cal. O'Neill goes after this one, lines it off the glove of the second baseman, and he'll race down to first base, and he's got an infield hit. So O'Neill, who drove in the game's 2nd run and giving the Skeeters a 2-0 first inning lead with a sacrifice fly, gets a base hit here, and the first offering to Buddy Graves goes to the backstop, and O'Neill had thoughts of going to 3rd. Wild pitch will be the ruling from the press box. And Graves had a good cut. He struck out his first and only time up back in inning number 1. 1 ball and 1 strike to Buddy. Swing and a miss. Chris checks the sign, and a bluff attempt towards 3rd by the runner out there at second base forced Chris to come off the mound as he resets, going up against a tough competitor in Buddy Graves. This time a half-hearted play by the SoCal defense. A lot of times you'll see that shortstop break, and then the second baseman will slide in there. Here's a bouncing ball, but he was playing too far in the hole against the left-handed hitting Graves, who fields and throws him out on that ground ball. Runner moves up 90 feet to 3rd base in O'Neill, and now let's see if Freddie Stewart has another RBI in that bat, which produced an RBI single in the 1st inning. He's 1 for 1. 4-1 Houston. We're in the home half of the 3rd. A swing and a foul tip, which will even the count on the right-handed hitting center fielder in 1 ball and 1 strike. And a line drive, and it will be fielded on the short hop. Nice job by the second baseman, and that is all here in the home half of the 3rd. No runs, 1 left. And at the end of 3, it's Houston 4, it's the Southern California Indians 1. It's the MSBL World Series on APN. Top half of inning number 4. Here's your totals. Houston 4 runs, 8 hits, an error. They have stranded 4. The Southern California Indians a run, 3 hits, 2 errors. They've stranded 3. I'm Jeff Lowry, APN Video Sports. Our website is apnvideo.com. 23 on the mound, Ronnie Stegall in his 4th inning of work. Giving up 1 run and 3 hits so far. Here's a long blast by Cavanaugh, and that one is over the head of the left fielder, who fields it on the big hop. And getting it back in is Mike Black. They have a play at second, but the throw is not in time. So a leadoff double, the 4th hit of the ball game for the Indians, and now Gravett, the cleanup hitter, and Indian center fielder, and he takes outside, ball 1. Temperatures in the mid to low 70s. I'd say we're probably getting around that upper 60s now. It's cooled off quite a bit here. Early November contest. 1 ball and 1 strike on the cleanup hitter. And he slaps one to the right side. The second baseman fields nicely in the hole. Gets it over to Larson. Nice play by Emilio Gonzalez. So they at least get the runner over at third base. And the batter is going to be the first baseman, Pedro Serrano. And he hammers it foul down the first base line and out of play. He popped up to the first baseman his only time up. That was back in the second inning. He grounds one and taken by Larson, the first baseman. And he's going to run the runner back to third base. Outstanding job. So with 2 down, the ball gets away. The first pitch on Maldonado, ball 1. That last play, outstanding job by Keith Larson. 2-0 on Maldonado, who popped up to the shortstop, his only time up back in the second inning. Top of the 4th inning, Skeeters clinging to a 4-1 lead with a runner at third. 3 balls and no strikes to count on Maldonado with Hubatka on deck. Ronnie Stegall hoping to get a lot of innings in here. Here's a smash down to third. Fielded on the short hop by Whalen. And the throw is scooped out by Keith Larson at first base. A tremendous play on both ends. And we head to the home half of the 4th. The Houston Skeeters lead Southern California 4-1. Well, we saw some outstanding plays as the pitching and defense has been pretty stellar for this Houston team over the last 2.5 games. We head now to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Left fielder Mike Black will lead it off. He bounced out second to first to end the first inning, an inning in which the big difference in the game when the Skeeters scored 3 times. So it'll be Black, Griffin, and Banasic. Here's a shot out into right field. It's going to hold up for the right fielder, and he'll make the one-handed grab. And that's the first out here in the bottom half of the 4th inning. Well, 8 hits in total here for the Houston Skeeters. Here's a ball hit out in front of the plate, fielded nicely, and the perfect throw retires Charlie Griffin, 2 down. So that play goes 1-3. 2 quick outs here in the Houston 4th inning. And the batter is going to be the Houston MSBL League President, Joe Banasic, who you got to see on our pregame show with our roving APN reporter. And, of course, I'm talking about Mr. Buddy Graves. Christ on the mound. He delivers. That one's inside. He's not pitched all that bad. I know he's given up 8 hits in total in 3 2/3 innings. But you get the sense that Christ is the kind of pitcher that's going to keep this team in the game. Hit hard right at the second baseman. He knocks it down, picks it up, and throws him out at first base. That was a very good inning for Christ, who has set down 5 in a row, including 7 of the last 8 that he has faced. Top of the 5th coming up. It's all Houston, 4-1. A wide shot of Tempe Diablo Stadium, the winter home of the Anaheim Angels, and today it's home to the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN. Fouled straight back and up against the screen. Hubatka, Christ, and Bryant, 7, 8, and 9 hitters in the order for the Southern California Indians. Both these teams coming in, playing their 4th game of the tournament, an identical 2 wins, 1 loss record. Bouncing ball foul, and it's quickly 0-2 on Hubatka, who had 1 of the 4 hits here today by Southern Cal. He swings and wallops one deep left field and over the head and against the wall of the left fielder, and that's going to be a leadoff double for the 2nd straight inning of Ronnie Stegall. And so Southern Cal has their 3rd double of the day, their 5th hit in total, and here's Christ. 0-1 the count as he fouls off the first offering from Ronnie Stegall. Tempe Diablo Stadium, a 4-1 lead for Houston as SoCal bats here in the top half of inning number 5. So after a quick meeting of the minds, we're back to live action. That's taken high for a ball. 1-1 on Christ. He's went 4 innings of 4-run, 8-hit baseball. We've seen 3 errors in total in this game, 2 by Southern California. 2-1 is the count on Christ. Ronnie Stegall, the veteran out of Houston, Texas. Special thanks to Ronnie for setting up today's broadcast. 2-1. Change up is high, and it's 3 balls and 1 strike. We were talking about, I was getting ready to say, Ronnie would like to get a lot of innings in this game. This 4th game, this is a pivotal game. Both these teams are 2-1. But it's pivotal in the sense that you really don't want to use a lot of pitchers. This is the last game as that one swung on and missed. And now we'll run the count full on Christ. Here's a big payoff pitch coming up. And he fouls it off. You don't want to use too many pitchers in your 4th and 5th game because, you know, especially when you're playing 4 games, or rather 6 games, excuse me, in a matter of 4 days. Another 3-2 pitch, and that's outside ball 4. So the first 2 have reached. And you really, and if you're talking about planning for the playoffs, you know, these are the games that you need innings from your starting pitcher. And right now the tying run comes to the plate in Bryant, who bounced out fielder's choice 6-4, shortstop to second back in the 2nd inning. That ended the inning. The only inning in which SoCal has scored, but they are threatening here as this one's driven to center for a hit. It's bobbled out there by the center fielder. Gets it into the cutoff man, but not before the run scores. The runners are at 1st and 3rd. The tying run is on base and nobody out. RBI hit for Bryant, and now Garby. Roy Garby batting in that 10B position. He rolls one to the right side, and the only play will be at 1st. So Garby does the job. That'll get the 2nd run in, and the next batter lines one off the glove of Stegall, and he'll throw on to 1st base. So Swanson is retired, and there's 2 down. That play goes 1-3. Runner at 2nd with 2 runs in and 2 men out. We're in the top of the 5th inning. Houston now clinging to a 4-3 lead. And now De Jesus. Good fastball, and one of the best, not only locations that we've seen, but good velocity there by Stegall. He just reared back and threw the number 1. Comes back with a breaking ball after throwing the high fastball. 1 ball, 1 strike on De Jesus. Crutchfield is on deck. Here's a swing and a ball lifted in the air to right field, and it is going to be caught. Side retired. Brent Donaldson saves a run with that running catch. 2 runs come across. We're halfway through this affair. 4-3 Houston Skeeters. Well, a 2-run inning in the top half of the 5th inning has tightened this thing up. A 1-run affair with Houston leading at 4-3. Both teams coming in with a record of 2 wins and 1 loss. Ground ball gobbled up by Lewis at 1st base. He'll take it to the bag, 1 down, as Rodriguez is retired, 3 unassisted. And now Greg Molina batting in that 11B position, the position in which he shares with Skeeter right fielder Brett Donaldson. He takes outside ball 1. Donaldson had a base hit. Representing the other half of that 11 position. And Molina loops one down the right field and base hit. So that one dropping in. So that's 11th position in the lineup here for the manager and starting pitcher Ronnie Stegall has paid dividends. We go back to the top of the order, and here's Paco Meza. The Houston shortstop has only singled in each of his first 2 plate appearances. He scored the game's first run all the way back in a 3-run first for the Houston Skeeters. Ball 1. Houston scored 3, as I just said, in the first inning, 1 more in the second. SoCal had a run in the second and 2 here in the 5th inning, as Houston bats in the home half of inning number 5, leading 4-3. Runner at first base, and that's outside, 2-0 on the shortstop, with catcher Ronnie Villarreal on deck for the Houston Skeeters. They have outscored their last 2 opponents, the last 2 victories, 29-6. After losing 8-5 in the first game, here's a shot out in the right. It's going to hold up, and the right fielder has it, and there is quickly 2 down. Now Ronnie Villarreal driving one, left center field. He hit it a ton. It's over the head of the left fielder and rolling to the wall. Scoring easily is going to be Greg Molina. Villarreal heads to third, his second extra base hit, his second RBI at bat, and it's a big run, and it's 5-3 Skeeters. So some clutch hitting from the catcher of this ball club. And now first pitch swinging is Larson, and right up the old elevator shaft to the pitcher, who hauls it in to retire the side. Heading to the 6th. Houston now with a 5-3 lead. You're watching the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN Video Sports. I'm Jeff Lowry. Andrew Stevens behind our #1 camera. Here's a shot out, foul territory. Larson, foul territory's got it, 1 down. So Crutchfield retire first pitch hitting, and the batter is going to be Cavanaugh, who doubled back in the 4th inning. So 5 runs on 10 hits now for the Houston Skeeters, and giving just a little breathing room for starting pitcher Ronnie Stegall, who is now in his 6th inning of work. 5 1/3 innings of 6-hit baseball. And of the 3 runs, 2 are earned. The run he gave up in the second, unless my stats are incorrect, that should have been an unearned run. One out, nobody on. Top of the 6th inning, Cavanaugh, the 3rd place hitter, with Gravette, the cleanup hitter, on deck. Boy, what a day so far for the catcher of the Skeeters, Ronnie Villarreal. How many runs has he saved with his ability to keep the ball in front of him? He had a runner at third on 2 occasions, and the ball was in the dirt. Kept the ball in front of him, and at the plate he has had an RBI double and an RBI triple. And that's ball 4. So the second walk issued here by Ronnie Stegall, who has yet to strike out a batter. And now Gravette, who has doubled and scored and bounced out second to first. He's 1 for 2 at the plate. The pitch. Curve in there for a strike, and it's 0-1. 5-3 Houston as Southern California bats here in the top of the 6th inning. That's taken low for a ball. Winner of this game will pretty much in the driver's seat to making a playoff. 4 wins usually in round-robin plays. This one's grounded to short. Could be 2. They'll go second 1, and the throw to first, scooped out by Larson. What a job by this first baseman here this afternoon. And it was all started by Meza and Gonzalez. Shortstop, second to first. And we head to the home half of the 6th. It is a 5-3 lead for Houston. So a 6-4-3 double play ends the top of the 6th inning, and now Houston will be sending up their 4, 5, and 6 hitters, starting with Brendan O'Neill and then Buddy Graves and Freddie Stewart. Bounce to the shortstop. He's up with it. He throws, and the low throw scooped out by Pedro Serrano for out number 1. Buddy Graves moves to the right side, or, well, the left side of home plate, the bat right-handed. And he comes up empty-handed. It's 0-1. Buddy is 0 for 2. His first 2 at-bats against the right-handed starter, Christ, batting left-handed. Change up in there for a strike, and it's 0-2. Big curveball. Not really a change-up, but a curveball. See if Buddy can get something going here with 1 out. We're in the home half of the 6th inning. His Houston Skeeters lead at 5-3. The 0-2 pitch. And here's a bouncing ball wide of third. Nope, down the line. That ball, I think, hit the bag. The third base coach says that's a fair ball. So does the home plate umpire. And so Buddy Graves is aboard with a base hit. Hit number 11 here for the team. So Buddy Graves down there at first base, and now Freddie Stewart. Well, this is anybody's game here, as this one is grounded up the middle and bobbled by the shortstop, and the only play is a force out at second. So there's 2 down in the inning. That goes 6-4, and now the left fielder, Mike Black. Sweeping pitch. Missed the outside corner, 1 ball, no strikes. Houston 5, Southern California in the field. They have 3. 2-0 on the left fielder for the Houston Skeeters. I know I've mentioned it several times. Both these teams have a pivotal game here in round-robin play. Both teams have won 2. They've lost 1. Both teams with 2 games remaining after this one. And he goes after a 2-0 pitch and pops it up, but it's going to find the seats out of play. Swing and a miss. Boy, did he really take something off that one with that big bending curveball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Chris versus Mike Black here at the plate. Runner at first, 2 out. Home half of inning number 6 with the Skeeters batting and leading at 5-3. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Chris to the plate, and Black lines it foul and out of play. Again, another 2-2 count coming up here. And a swing and a miss. Big curveball. And that will retire the side. That is only the 2nd strikeout of the game, both recorded by Chris. And we head now to the top of the 7th inning. The Skeeters 5, the Indians 3. This is APN Video Sports. Lewis, the first baseman, pops it up, and Larson, who has done a really just a stellar job down there at first base, hauls it in for out number 1. 7th inning of work for Ronnie Stegall on the mound for the Houston Skeeters. Maldonado is 0 for 2. He popped up to the shortstop in the 2nd. He grounded to 3rd in the 4th. Skeeters with 3 runs in the 1st, and that's been the difference. It's been pretty much even baseball since then. Ronnie comes in with a good fastball, good location on that pitch. We talked about Chris, and maybe the numbers won't impress you in the box score, but the one thing about the starting pitcher for the Indians, as the Skeeters are in the field right now, for those of you just joining us, the one thing about, I think you can say this about the game of baseball, especially out here at the MSBL World Series, is keeping your team close, giving your team a chance to win a ball game. And you know, Chris he's given up 11, 12 hits so far, but 11 hits now in total. He has kept his team in the ball game. This ball is hammered, but foul off the dugout, third base side. Here's a chopper, and this is going to be a challenge. Meza makes the play in front of the bag, throws to first, and another sensational play. That may very well be our APN Sports big defensive play of the game, and it was Paco Meza. That was tremendous. So there is 2 down here in the inning, and Hubatka will bat for the 3rd time. He has singled, he has doubled. He scored in the 5th inning. We're in the top of the 7th inning. Houston 5, Southern California 3. The Indians at the plate in the pitch. Ronnie Stegall, so at least he will get his team into the 8th inning. Barring anything spectacular in this inning. I think if you were to ask Ronnie before the game if he went 7 innings, I think he'd be pretty happy. There's a swing and a ball lifted in the air out in the center field. Misplayed initially. Buddy Graves came in on it and was over his head, and that's going to go for a 2-base hit and the 3rd hit in 3 tries for Hubatka. So now the starting pitcher, Christ. Runner at second base, 2 out. And he was a little tardy on that one and fouls it off over the first base dugout. 0-1. Outside, 1 ball, 1 strike, and a long throw down the second. The runner is just in ahead of the tag, and it's 1 ball, 1 strike. Got to be impressed with Ronnie Villarreal behind the plate here for the Skeeters. Probably, I would say, in this age group, he's probably the premier defensive catcher in the league, and the way he's been hitting the ball, as that one nipped the outside corner. 1-2 on Christ, who's reached on an error and walked. He scored a run, or his courtesy runner did in the 5th. I don't know if he had a courtesy runner. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. 1-2 pitch. Grounded up the middle, and the second baseman tried to get a glove on it. He did, but it scampers out into center field, and a run will score, and it's a 1-run affair. RBI hit for Christ, helping his own cause, and now Bryant, who had an RBI hit his last time up, and he takes a strike. So it's now Houston 5, Southern California 4. I think I spoke too soon about Stegall getting his team into the 8th inning. Here's a diving play by the shortstop, and the throw to second is in time. What a tremendous play by the Houston Skeeters shortstop, Paco Francisco Meza. And it doesn't get any better than that. What a sensational play to end the inning. They get a run on 2 hits, they leave 1, and at the end of 6.5 innings of play, it is now Houston coming to the plate, leading it 5-4. Unbelievable. Absolutely an incredible play. Line smash, and down the left field line. Good start here for the Skeeters in the bottom of the 7th inning. Charlie Griffin heading for 2, and he is going to be thrown out by about 3 steps. Outstanding throw by the left fielder. Travaseros out in left field on the outfield assist, going 7-4. And so the leadoff hitter is gunned down at second base by the Southern California left fielder. Here's Joe Banasic. Well, there's still kind of talking about that great play. Here's Joe going opposite field, and the right fielder will make the catch in shallow right field, and down the line, 2 down. This is the first at bat for Mike Whalen. Whalen has done a nice job down there at third base. 1 ball, 1 strike to him. 2 out, nobody on. Bottom of the 7th inning, a 1-run game, a 1-run lead for Houston. Here's a swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Houston led 3-0 after 1 inning of play, but then had a 4-1 lead after 2. We had a couple of scoreless innings, but ever since then, this Southern California team has just they keep pushing that envelope. They got to within 4-3. Houston added a run in the 5th inning to make it 5-3. And then it was 5-4 after SoCal scored in the top of the 7th, and we're in the bottom of the 7th inning. In a 1-run affair. Ronnie Villarreal with some outstanding catching behind the plate. 2 RBI hits, a double, a triple, and a 2-hit day at the plate for Francisco Meza. That's ball 4. Good at bat for Whalen, who fell behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. And now Brett Donaldson, pretty good ball player here. He's done a nice job out in right field. I can tell you the difference in this game right now. Obviously, Ronnie has pitched a good ball game. That goes without saying, but I think the difference in this game has been Houston's defense. So let's see if Donaldson can get it or keep it going here with a runner at first and 2 out. We're in the bottom half of inning number 7. Houston at the plate in the white uniforms, and a strike called to Donaldson. They lead it 5-4. Villarreal with 2 RBIs, a sac fly by O'Neill, an RBI by Freddie Stewart. And a laser beam out into right center field. The runner is going to be at first and third with 2 outs. So Donaldson is 2 for 2. And that is going to be all for Chris. I thought he pitched a nice ball game. He goes 6 2/3. He's given up 5 runs. The 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Gives up 13 hits in total. And now Meza at the plate, and this ball is off the glove of the catcher, and a huge, huge insurance run for the Skeeters here, and it's 6-4. Go back to second, runner back in. Francisco Meza, who made 2 circus catches, and he rips one out into left field, a base hit. The runner will hold at third. They're on first and third as the ball goes all the way through, and Meza heads up base running, heads to second. He's 3 for 4, and if you just joined us, he made 2 sensational plays in the field, probably saved a couple of runs in the top of this 7th inning, an inning in which SoCal had scored 1 run, but his defense truly paid off. Had he not made those 2 plays, they may still be at the plate. So 6-4 is our score. Skeeters with runners at second and third, 2 out. And boy, how big was the assist play in left field by Travaseros of the Southern California Indians, gunning down the leadoff hitter Charlie Griffin after he hit a base hit down the left field line, tried to stretch it into 2, got thrown out at second base. So Villarreal up there, he has doubled in a run, he has tripled in a run. 6-4 lead Houston as they bat bottom of the 7th. And he is really battling right now against the new pitcher. I think the Indians definitely wanted that pitch. New pitcher on the mound for Christ, who goes 6 2/3, gives up 5 runs, 13 hits. New pitcher is Maldonado. Second and third occupied, 2 out. And the good heat blew it right by him. But a run, they leave 2. We head to the 8th inning here. It's the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN. Houston Skeeters will send out Ronnie Stegall for an 8th inning. He's done a sensational job, and facing the 10A hitter, this is Kenny Ladd, who bounced out 3rd to 1st. back in the third inning. 6-4 lead for Houston, top of the 8th inning. SoCal at the plate. And there's a swing and a miss, and the first strikeout of the evening for Ronnie Stegall. So one down, and here is the man who made that fine throw in left field to probably prevented a big inning and opening up Pandora's box. Travaseros, who flied to center field his only time up back in inning number 3. 6-4 Houston leads. They're in the field. Popped him up, and the second baseman has a long way to go, and, well, he's not going to have time to make the play, and that's a situation, that's an infield hit, that's a situation where when you're playing that deep, and that was just a short hit ball. Now we go back to the top of the order in De Jesus, who is 1 for 3 at the plate. Runner at first, 1 out, and the pitch is low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Base hit right field unless they got him at first. Nope. And that'll be first and second. And here comes the Indians. It seems like every time Houston has done something, the Indians counter. They trail by 2, but they got the tying run at first base, and here's Crutchfield. Crutchfield is 0 for 3. Ten hits now off Ronnie Stegall. Pivotal inning here for both teams. Southern Cal trying to equalize, trailing by 2. Houston has never given up the lead in this game after scoring 3 times in the bottom of the first inning. And this ball's hammered. Right field and caught. Nice play. Quick throw back to second and a double play. 9-6 on an outfield assist from right field, and what a job. We head now to the bottom of the 8th inning, and it is still 6-4 Houston, and we talk about the keys of this game, and there is no question about it. They've had timely hitting, Houston has. They've had good pitching from their starter, Ronnie Stegall, who gives them 8 strong innings here, but the defense has been spectacular. Villarreal, Meza, the second baseman, Emilio Gonzalez, Keith Larson has been tremendous down there at first base. It's been a total team effort. Speaking of Keith Larson, he's up there at the plate. 6-4 lead Houston. And the slider down and inside, ball 1. Second inning of work for Maldonado. So Ronnie Stegall, it'll be interesting to see if he comes out and tries to complete what he has started here this 4 o'clock start time, Tempe Diablo Stadium. Temperatures down in the high 60s. Well, with the 6 runs that they have scored in this game, they continue to average 10 runs a game through the first 4 games. Not bad. They have given up a total of 18 runs. About 4.25 a game, so the differential is about almost 6 runs a game between them and their opponents. 10-4 is the average score of a Skeeters game here in 2014. Ball 4, and Larson is aboard. Second time that he has walked in this game. And here's Brendan O'Neill. Cleanup hitter had a sac fly back in the first inning, a single in the third. He is grounded to shortstop. Houston 6, Southern California Indians, who are in the field, they have 4. We are in the bottom half of the 8th inning, and it's just been a great defensive game between these 2 ball clubs, mainly on the Houston side. Got Buddy Graves on deck. Keeping a close eye on Keith Larson. Of course, Larson, who had the 75 stolen bases back in 1987, is always a threat to steal for the Skeeters, and he just got picked off. So that'll be the first out of the inning, as Brendan O'Neill will bat with 1 out and nobody on. Home half of the 8th inning. Maldonado came on in the 7th inning, got the team out of some hot water after a run had scored. That's ball 4. And he has started the 8th inning with back-to-back walks. O'Neill will stay put, and here is Buddy Graves, who singled down the third base line. In fact, I believe the ball hit the bag. And he's 1 for 3, and I'll tell you, Houston could definitely use another insurance run here. Houston has led 3-0, 4-1, 5-3, 5-4, 6-4, our current score. And the runner at first base, and I'll tell you, this Southern California team, very aggressive, trying to get the base runner. They've already picked off 1 base runner, and Keith Larson, who led the inning off with a walk. And paying an awful lot of attention over there to Brendan O'Neill. One of the downfalls when you pay as much attention as Maldonado has done with the first 2 runners that he has allowed on base, especially with Larson, he did pick him off. But the one thing about it is he ended up walking the next hitter. And I think that you can throw over there a couple of times, and this is just one person's opinion. But I think it definitely distracts you as the pitcher. I think it distracts you from home plate when you spend that much effort and concentration on the guy at first base. But I will say this, Maldonado's got a very, very good, he's got a very good move, a very quick move, and just as I say that, he has walked his 3rd straight hitter. So now Freddie Stewart with a chance to do some damage. 6-4 Houston. They bat here in the bottom of the 8th inning with runners at first and second. Here's a pickoff move to second, and he almost got him. I'll tell you what, if that ball is on the third base side of second base, he would have been out. And Maldonado has clearly the best move I've seen out here in a long time. Drive center field, and it's going to be caught. And the runner's tagging, moving to third, and just ahead of the throw. Good base running there by Brendan O'Neill. Fly ball to center field, recording out number 2, and now Mike Black, who's looking for his first hit. Open stance, right-handed hitter, tall right-handed hitter. Maldonado an out away from getting out of a jam here. First and third with 2 out. And the slider nips the outside corner for a called strike, and it's 0-1. Charlie Griffin hoping for a chance on deck. Skeeters could use an insurance run. They lead by 2. Bottom of the 8th inning, leading 6-4. Maldonado walked the first 3 batters, but he picked off Larson, the leadoff hitter at first base, and got Freddie Stewart to hit a fly ball to center field, and now they're at first and third, 2 out. Well, let's see if Mike Black can come through with a base hit. It would be an RBI hit if he could do so here. And he bounces one past the third baseman. It goes out into left field. What a clutch hit by Mike Black. An RBI single to left field, and it's 7-4 in favor of the Skeeters. Charlie Griffin starts off taking the first pitch in the dirt, ball 1. That is a huge insurance run for the Skeeters. Great job by Mike Black. He's done an outstanding job out in left field. And he comes through with his first base hit in his 4th try. 2-0 on the speedy Charlie Griffin. Charlie singled his last time up, but then tried to stretch it into a double and was thrown out by the Indians left fielder by actually a couple of feet. 2 balls and no strikes. 2 on. 7-4 Houston. Curves in there, a strike. Remember, Maldonado started the inning off by walking the first 3 batters. And fortunately for him, he picked off Keith Larson to start the inning. At first base, 2-1. Swing and a miss. That's a nasty slider. And it's 2-2. Home half of the 8th inning, a run is in. Charlie Griffin trying to stay disciplined here. He's probably going to get something off speed outside part of the plate. Here's the pitch. Yeah, he went upstairs, and I don't think he had command of that pitch. It didn't break. It stayed way upstairs, and now the count is full. Well, does he come back? Does he give in with the fastball here? Or does he throw that hard-breaking slider? You do have one base open out there, so you could take a chance here. He steps off. He's thinking about it right now, Maldonado. If I had that slider, 2 strikes, it's automatic. That looks like his best pitch. 3-2 offer. And he came back and just changed speeds there, and that will end the inning. So what do I know? As we head now to the top of the 9th, Houston Skeeters 7 and the SoCal Indians 4. Welcome back to the 2014 MSBL World Series on APN, and now in his 9th inning of work, starting pitcher Ronnie Stegall, the manager of the Houston Skeeters, done an outstanding job on the mound. Given up 10 hits, he has struck out 1, he's walked a couple of batters, he's given up just 4 runs. It has to face the heart of this Southern California lineup: Cavanaugh, Gravette, and Lewis. So we're in the top of the 9th inning, Houston with a 7-4 lead. Houston has outscored their opponents through the first nearly 4 games, 41 runs to 18. Looking for their 3rd consecutive victory. They had a 12-3 victory in Game 2 over the Phillies, a 17-3 victory over, I guess, a team called Kendall. And here in the top of the 9th inning, the 3, 4, and 5 hitters for the Indians. Smash off the pitcher's mound and fielded by Meza. He throws him out at first base. Are you kidding me? A lunging play by the Skeeters shortstop as it was deflected off the pitcher's mound. It hit Ronnie Stegall in the glove. That slowed it down, and Meza came up. He had 1 shot to get him. That is the 3rd outstanding. I mean, that is a great play. Nothing outstanding about it. That was a sensational play by the Houston shortstop. Gravette has doubled. He has scored. He has hit into a double play and grounded to second. He's 1 out of 3 as he bats with nobody on here in the top of the 9th inning. His Indians trailing the Houston Skeeters 7-4. Paco Meza, our APN Sports Player of the Game. Fly ball center field. Coming on and making the catch is Stewart, and there's 2 down. Now Lewis. 0-1 on the big first baseman. 1 ball, 1 strike. Ronnie has went 8 2/3, trying to close it out. His team leads at 7-4. The 1-1 pitch is swung on and hit into the air, right field. A late break, and it's going to drop in for a hit. So a little misplaying out there, but Donaldson keeps it in front of him. It's a base hit for Lewis, his first in 4 tries, and now Maldonado, who was robbed by Meza back in the 7th inning and is 0 for 3 at the plate. Pitched an inning and a third of relief. Gave up a run in the inning and a third, and he's up there, the last hope here for the Southern California Indians. Runner at first base. Good stop there once again by Ronnie Villarreal, who has had arguably the hitter of this ball game, an RBI double and a run scored in the first, an RBI triple in the 5th inning. High pop-up into center field. Stewart, that ball fooled him, and I'll tell you, that ball traveled a lot further than I thought it was going to be. Stewart gets it back in, and the runners are at second and third, which now brings the tying run to the plate in Hubatka, who's only 3 for 3 on the day. And he takes a healthy swing at that one. He has doubled twice, he singled once, 3 for 3. And he hits a line shot out into left center field, dropping fast, base hit, picked up by the left fielder. 2 runs are going to score, and all of a sudden it's a 1-run affair. Hubatka with his 4th hit of the day, his first 2 RBIs of the day, 7-6, and now Chris, the starting pitcher, and he takes a slider, strike 1. 7-6, Houston with the lead. And it's 1-1. I think Ronnie wanted that call, did not get it. It was very similar to the pitch that he threw on the first offering to Chris, which was called a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, nobody on. Indians now down to their final out, their final strike as they trail 7-6, top of the 9th, the pitch. And here's a chopper, left side, Whalen's got it. Across the diamond, the throw goes, and this game is over. It's in the books, and Houston winning their 3rd straight game in round-robin play of this 2014 MSBL World Series, and they come out on the winning note, 7-6 the final over the Southern California Indians. Winning pitcher, Ronnie Stegall. The losing pitcher goes to Chris. He was the starter for the Indians. This has been a presentation of APN Video Sports. So glad you could join us. For our entire crew, good night from Tempe Diablo Stadium.